MRP prior to making a decision on the project.
Is there a second, please?
Second.
Heard Beth seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. That one is. Now, the next one is to approve the draft conditional permit that we have in our hands for the head of school addition. And I hope we've all read that. It's in the back. Is there a motion to approve the conditional use permit?
I move that the planning commission move to approve the draft conditional permit, use permit for the head of school addition.
Is there a second, please?
Second.
A second, okay. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes. Now, we need to defer action on the conditional use permit for the Technology and Business Center.
I would prefer you continue it to the October 22nd meeting or the next meeting.
I move that we continue the discussion and action on the conditional use permit certificate of the Technology and Business Office addition until the meeting of,
October 22nd.
thank you, like I said.
Is there a second? All second. Been moved and seconded to defer the action to our next meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. It will be deferred to our next meeting. Is there anything further for anyone on the commission? If not, we'll take commissioners' reports.
Can I ask a quick question and make one quick
Really?
comment? The quick question is whether or not there are any other concerns that haven't been aired tonight that we should be paying attention to in the next month.
We'll take a moment.
And fair enough if you come up with them after the fact, but we'd love to be going to work on everything that we understand so that it doesn't become, you know, a time sink for you all and a time sink for us.
I think the letter from the attorney and Ed Goodstein's letter pretty much outline the concerns that we're reflecting
That you would
here.
hold.
And
Okay.
if you can deal with that, I think we may be able to go forward.
The only other comment that I would make, relating to the earlier discussion, I want to have the planning commission hear from the school that when we come before you in the spring, we'll give you everything that we've got with respect to the dining facility, with respect to a potential performing arts center. Those are the two projects that are outstanding. And we actually, frankly, we hope that we'll have something more on Cartana, and I know you're dying to hear more about that. But with whatever we've got, we're happy to share it with you, provided that you understand that, look, you know, we don't know exactly what this is gonna look like. Here's our current thinking, could change radically. But if that's what you're looking for, we will certainly provide that.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thank you.
What do I got for the job?
Now, commissioners' reports, anyone? Go ahead.
Okay, at the council meeting, September 17th, there was a request to approve a grant application for asking for money to make a plan for a complete street on El Camino from Fifth Avenue down to Selby Lane. Now, I have no doubt that this is a problem area. However, a complete street plan, their proposal looks like this, with this being El Camino, bicycle and sidewalk plans. Our general plan says specifically that sidewalks are prohibited and bicycle paths will be on non-arterial roads only. And yet our town submitted a grant asking for almost $2 million to do something in violation of the general plan. And, you know, that just puts us all in a world of hurt. As the planning commission, you know, the planning commission led a big effort to get this heard and approved. The city's gone around it, and I mean, they haven't implemented anything yet, but I'm seeing big red flags come up. All we need is $2 million hanging out there, and everybody's saying, well, we gotta change the general plan, now we got all this money. I don't know why the grant was headed by Michael Kashiwagi, who is also the public works guy. I don't know why he didn't know that the general plan prohibited some of these things specifically. And I'm surprised that they would do, make a plan like this without the planning department, who certainly knows what the rules are in the general plan. And where does that, are we supposed to respond to this with changing the general plan? I mean, that wasn't on our agenda either.
So, and this, was it at our town council meeting?
Our town
They just
council
sort of
meeting,
just jumped right to the council without even going.
exactly. And in fact, when it came down to it, if you look at the tapes, it seems that perhaps it was submitted without council approval even. Before council approval, and it was like an after-the-fact approval. The whole thing is just, it's very concerning to me that it happened this way. First off, that it was submitted in that manner. Second, but primarily, that it's a big change to the general plan as far as I'm concerned.
It's my understanding that El Camino Real is a state designated highway, and that our town has no jurisdiction.
That's correct.
It's state money that it's applied for.
Yeah, but it's state money and
State.
It's their property.
their property,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, to the extent that if somebody's hit, we have no liability, so it works both ways.
So your objection is that another jurisdiction,
No, we're building it.
wait a minute, no, we don't have any jurisdiction there.
Well, that's what the grant is, for us to
I don't-
make the plan and start the implementation of this plan.
So then we'd be violating the law.
Staff can talk to the city manager and get some more details. We're not familiar with that. I can tell you that there are times that I've not researched this, I was not at the meeting, and I don't know the details. I do know that in general, the way that street works is that we contract with Caltrans to do certain maintenance work, and that's our guys out there doing it, removing bushes, that sort of thing, but in terms of liability, in terms of decision-making, we do not have any jurisdiction at all. So I don't know the details of that. If you'd like staff to
Yeah, I can certainly
look
talk to the
into it
city
and report
manager.
back at the next meeting.
and-
That's the only thing we can do.
It's very odd that, that first off, that we'd be doing it, and secondly, that,
Well, maybe we have to inform our city council that they have no jurisdiction.
What was the vote?
it was too late. It was already, when it came down to it, the city council was told that it had already been submitted, and they were approving it after the
That's
fact.
the state's decision, right? And,
Well, you're gonna come
Well,
back.
But I mean, there's one thing,
there are quite a
submit the
number of
grant,
things
the
the
other
state
decision
does.
is
Yeah,
how
and-
to implement it. But
Well, and the third part of it is that they have, just because they ask for a grant doesn't mean that they're going to get the
Absolutely.
grant.
Absolutely.
But let's,
But,
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the
let's-
project
let's
before the
let
meeting,
staff
so yeah.
take a look at this
Sure.
and bring some comment back to it at the next meeting. That'd be great.
Okay.
Now, any further commissioners' reports? I have one quick one. The CCAC is going to review the requests for qualifications from a whole bunch of architects. I think they're due in next, I think on the 30th, and we're due to look at them that following week. And try and winnow the, whatever we get, maybe 30, 50, I don't know, trying to get it down to something like 5 or 6 who would be qualified from their experience to put a proposal in to do the architectural work for the city center. So
is
it's
there
moving.
any, has there been any fundraising done?
Not
Is there a program for fundraising?
Oh, yeah, it's coming, but it hasn't, nobody's gone and touched anybody yet.
So we're gonna put a contract out for an architect, and we don't have any money to pay for him?
That's right, but if we don't have any money to pay for him, he doesn't get paid. That's it.
Oh, we got a much simpler plan.
Because we've been told that we can use the city money that we have now, that is the building fund and certain other monies that this town has, to do the work that we're doing now, that the city's doing now. But as soon as an architect is hired on board, then we have to use private money. But it's gonna be the first year before anybody will, at least that long.
So is there a plan for fundraising?
Oh, yeah, sure, big time.
Must be big time, because that's gonna be a lot of fun stuff to be raised.
Get your wallet out.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Okay, any further comments? If not, well, staff reports.
Sure, thank you. I just wanted to report as far as the Civic Center, the master plan, EIR, the city council did approve the contract, so we're gonna have a kickoff shortly and get going on that environmental impact report. And then that'll come before you as a draft for review. Two other items that would be interesting to the planning commission is the city council also authorized hiring a full-time town arborist. So right now we have a part-time contract arborist and the authorized full-time city employee arborist. So that would really help out a lot with our construction projects, review, and be able to assist with some public trees as well. So we're recruiting for that right now. And then the other item is a full-time city employee code enforcement officer, and that would be shared with a community service officer position in police. So they would be mostly doing code enforcement, but if there's some time allowed, they'd be doing some code enforcement, community service as well. And that would be also a city position. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody, anyone else comment? If not, we have a motion to do something.
Motion we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Since you got time, we-
Okay, motion been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Alrighty.
We're done.